Yeah, I grew up in a very musical or artistic household. Like my dad has been a jazz bass player, and I was fortunate enough to be exposed to the lifestyle of music, and also many different types of really good music that transcended like stylistical barriers. Like I heard everything from Tito Puente to Oscar Peterson to Frank Sinatra to James Brown to the Beatles. Like I had the whole range covered, and that was a really great thing to have when I first started out. One of my first childhood memories, I can remember sitting in on a sound check with my dad's band, and that's really bizarre, like, because there exists a picture that was in the news. Some like news reporter captured that, and somehow I remember being up there, and then I even remember the tune we played was Bobby Timmons' Morning. Boosh, boosh. I never had formal drum lessons. Like I'm self-taught, and I learned by watching and imitating and copying and playing along with records. And maybe if I put everything together, I maybe had 4 or 5 hours of formal drum lessons, and that didn't happen until I was like in my mid-20s, where I just approached people to help me out with some problems that I developed, and I was fortunate enough to get access to some of the really great guys, like Jim Chapin. But those were somehow informal lessons. It was basically like in a hotel room at 2 o'clock in the morning. Do this, and someone like Jim is such an ambassador and such an asset that he really wants to pass the stuff on, and that's an incredible gift to like receive. And I was fortunate enough to have that opportunity to be exposed to him at the right time, and that it was not a lot of time assessed to that lesson, but it was extremely beneficial and had extreme impact. Yeah. I went through a considerable amount of frustration on one hand, where if I had the right access to the right information earlier on, I could have avoided those mistakes. On the other hand, in retrospect right now, I can see I needed to basically fall on my face a couple of times to develop my own paradigm as far as drumming and like technique goes. So right now, maybe I can say, well, my style of playing is recognizable, like it's and one of the reasons because of that is because I had to go my own way, and it's not a prefab system that I could adapt to, so I had to struggle really hard to like get there. But now on the other hand, I can say, well, maybe if I wouldn't have had to do that, maybe my stuff would be a little bit more in the mainstream of conceptually, and it still helps me to like re-innovate myself and try to find new territory, because that's the story of my life, from getting from one point to like the next one. That process is a part of me.